Hey everybody, it's 4 before diesel Sundays, except it's not a normal Sunday job where we do something off topic, where it's still at 1KD. Someone's got a bit of a problem and he's a VIP. I've been dealing with him. You've been a customer for how long? You're what, 10 years or something? About 10 years. Yeah, one of the locals, and so you're lucky or unlucky, whichever way you look at it. And he's got a bit of a problem. I saw he posted on Facebook last night. What group did you put it on?
4 before.
Yeah, 4 before diesel. Was that the group? Because I don't remember. There's too many groups, mate, like everybody else. All I'd say is next time put on 4 before diesel VIPs, because that's where the best, you know what I mean? Since you act like you should be in there, that's the best group, right? So most informed people in there. Coolant's a bit over full, but we've talked about that. It's all right. That's not an issue what we're looking at here. What we're looking at is, what's your problem? What do you got there?
It's a bit of oil.
How did you notice that? Let me hang on one sec. All right, how did you notice oil?
Just seen it. There's a residue on the rocket cover.
Just looking under there.
Looking under there, just doing it.
Because you did the injector job recently, right?
Exactly.
Tell you what we're going to do. So there is a problem here, and it's to do with a catch can. And many years ago, we used to go on about catch cans, and there's plenty of catch can videos, and there's a playlist even, I think, on catch cans. So if you want to worry about the old news, you can go and have a look there. I don't care if you have a catch can or not. Each to their own, but my recommendation is same as what I do. I don't have one, so I recommend you don't have one. A lot of people got it already before they found my information, because, you know, you got to watch out for all that marketing fluff and goo that they feed you, and you think you need all these things that you don't need. So there's going to be a bit of a lesson or two for everybody in this one. But what we're going to do to make it easier is take the cover off. So we'll zip the cover off so we can have a look and see what's going on, and we'll talk about what's happened here. All right, I've zipped the nuts and bolts off. Let's get that cover out of the way. You know how to do that since you did the injector job this time. Yeah. You're laughing. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look and see what's going on here. It'll be hard to see. Let's try and get the light on again, because I could be wrong. You never know. Yeah, Kev put some photos up, and I saw that. See that oil mess there, right? And what I saw was oil. You said around 1, 2, and 3 these pipes at the front here, right? Which we can see a bit of that. So straight away what I thought, and it could be wrong, is because I've seen it before where you get crankcase pressure. That's pressure in the engine, right? So there's a breather there, crankcase ventilation, and it connects on the valve cover there, right? You can see where the hose goes. It generally goes down direct to the turbo. But when you've got a catch can, obviously it's a longer track, there's bends, so there's quite a big kink there, you know, into the can. I don't know what's going on in there, and then back out and around. So it's the long route, mate. We'll call it a dog leg times 10, right? So it does restrict the flow a little bit, and it can cause some issues if it gets blocked up in there. And we've seen plenty of them blocked up. And when it blocks up, like I said, the engine can no longer breathe. So obviously the compression, the idea of it is meant to be in the combustion chamber, right? Where above the piston, but it's not 100% sealed. Some of it leaks past, and it's a high compression engine. It's a diesel. So that goes into the crankcase. And of course, that's another one of the reasons why you have crankcase ventilation. So it's to let the engine breathe, to get the moisture out. It's not really about oil vapors so much as just letting the engine breathe, but it also helps with that as well. So all these people have got different ideas what it's there for. Probably the number one reason it's there is actually this, allowing the engine to breathe and that crankcase pressure to escape somewhere. So if this is blocked, if you put a cap on there, if you put a catch can, and in any way it's restricted or blocked. So if it's restricted, it's going to be reduced, and if it's completely blocked, it's not going to work. What happens when you've got crankcase pressure inside the engine? It's got pressure pushing, it's going to pop a seal. And luckily, another reason why that 1KD FTV engine is one of the best, when there is crankcase pressure, for whatever reason, the first thing that goes is these seals, these nozzle seals start to push and pop out. Now, that's what I thought was happening. So I'm not a fan of the catch can in that top left-hand corner there. It's untidy, it's look at the bracket, whatever, but each to their own, you know what I mean? Everybody can do whatever they want to do. I'm starting to look at this going, well, I don't know if that's what's going on here. I can see, because, you know, the photo we saw online was kind of something like about, I don't know, it was a bit like that, wasn't it? Yeah. So I didn't actually see what was going on at this front one here. And looking further in, a little bit out of focus, kind of about, you know, like that. Well, let's get a photo for the thumbnail anyway. To be fair, we use what's in the video. We don't put all this misleading stuff like what other YouTube channels do. But I'm just looking in there. I'm going, no, that's not it. So it's good that you come around, because what you would have done is, I don't know, it was a bit like that, wasn't it? Yeah. So I didn't actually see what was going on at this front one here. And looking further in, a little bit out of focus, kind of about, you know, like that. Well, let's get a photo for the thumbnail anyway. To be fair, we use what's in the video. We don't put all this misleading stuff like what other YouTube channels do. But I'm just looking in there. I'm going, no, that's not it. So it's good that you come around, because what you would have done is pull your catch can off, whatever, and maybe nothing would have made any difference.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other reasons. Now I remember, obviously this had been worked on a few times before, and I remember this is one of the ones that had a crack in the valve cover, right? And at some stage it got replaced. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm not going to go into the full story because I remember they're different stories, but so it got a new valve cover. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. When you did the injectors, did you replace those top seals, or did you just clean them and whatever? Yeah.
I reckon.
Okay.
I reckon I replaced them.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you. Having a look here, I'm going to have to get off the camera and get the torch and get in there and have a closer look. We might even remove the intercooler on Sunday, mate. We're like working on Sunday. Awesome, right? So your VIP service, people, so careful. I'm not saying, and you didn't text me, so you did well. What did you do? You went to Facebook and I happened to see it. Yeah. Don't text me on the weekend. This is an emergency. This is an invitation. I saw Kev's post and I said, mate, bring it around in the morning. We'll have a look. We'll have a chat and we'll show people what it could have been. And it'll be a long chat because I'm not in any hurry. I want to be thorough. I want to teach everybody what I know. There's no secrets. That way you can watch the videos and then it's kind of like this situation doesn't happen again, you know? And when you need to find out, if you watch the videos, you already know, or you can go and search, or you can go in the VIP group and you say, hey, anyone, do you remember this? And 100 people are going to know who've seen the video. And maybe someone might put the link up and you can just watch it and get it firsthand. Otherwise, they're going to tell you, check this, check that. So awesome community. That's how it works. Now, looking at this at the moment, I don't think it is those seals. Those seals don't leak. They only leak when they get pushed out from crankcase pressure. Now, you would have replaced those. They're in the injector kit. You got the injector kit from me. So you would have replaced those. Top seals are maybe, you know, what we say is have a feel of them. If they're soft, just like the new ones, inspect them for damage. If they're not chipped or damaged, if nobody else has worked on it, then they might be okay. If someone else has worked on it, they're a bit rough taking the valve cover off. Those plastic injector solenoids there, that brown part there, that can damage the rubber. So that's why they need to be checked and inspected. So they've got to be soft. They've got to be not damaged. Then what we do is clean them because it only takes a speck of dirt, dust or sand or something. It's like a double seal on that top seal there.
Yeah.
But if just imagine 1 grain of sand or a grain of salt just sitting under that rubber, it's just enough to hold it up to allow that oil when it's hot and thin to weep through and just make that little untidy mess. And this happens to a few people, which is why I thought it was worth a video. So when we do the injector job, and I'm not saying we can't make a mistake, there's a possibility. This isn't a big oil leak. It's nothing to worry about. The car will go forever like this. But we're going to try and work out what it is, help teach ourselves and everybody how we could possibly avoid it. So it needs to be clean is the biggest thing. Old seals clean will seal better than new seals dirty. Do you know what I mean? So first thing we do, and it's all in the detailed videos in the VIP group, the special YouTube stuff that you get in the VIP group. We take the cover off, we go and wash it. We wash the cover, we blow it dry. If the sun's out, we sit in the sun to dry. And then we inspect the valve cover for cracks, which I don't think that's the issue this time. And check those seals. And as long as it's all Mickey Mouse clean, then we apply Moly Coat to that top seal, right? And it just helps everything slide on over. Nothing gets caught up and damaged. So I'm moving towards those top seals being the problem. To see that, we need to get the intercooler off. So let's zip off the intercooler and have a look and continue. Well, that didn't take me long to get off, did it? No. How long do you reckon that was? In minutes. What do you reckon? A minute? Come on, man. I'm not that good.
2 minutes.
Anyway, zip that off. So, have you got the 7mm? Plate with a 7mm hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be Mickey Mouse in there. Hard to see past that, but we're not taking that off at the moment. And look at the oil in there. So I just want to point out that the catch can is not doing anything anyway, because one without a catch can will have that bit of oil, exactly the same result. So it's not actually doing anything. And we can see the problem now, and that's what we came for. Well, I came to whinge about catch cans. You came to find what the oil leak is. And quite simply, it's the number 2 injector solenoid. So we're going to have a talk about what to do about this. Some people look at that and go, oh, is that fuel? Is that a broken injector? Whatever. No. All it is, it's quite annoying actually, isn't it? Yeah, because it's a massive job and risk of contamination to the injectors to fix it. So what's happened here is there's either a few things it could be. As we already discussed, the seal could be damaged, depending if you checked or replaced it. Depending if you cleaned it well. Do you reckon you washed the valve cover, or do you reckon you took it off, put it on the bench?
Yeah, I reckon I'll just put it on the bench and wiped it down and put the thing. If I change them.
That could be the mistake. So, like I said, with you, because we've changed them before, probably would have had new ones with a new valve cover.
Oh,
they come with a valve cover, so
that's right.
It's not that old that they need to be changed. I've seen these things past 10 years and they're still soft, right? They do vary. That's why I say check them. You know, people say, oh, you're in there, just change it anyway. You're right, but then some people break valve covers doing so or damage the seals doing so. That's where I say they don't leak, even at 15 years. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If this happens, it's not because you didn't change the seals. Most likely it's because you've damaged it changing the seals, or more likely it's just not clean enough. I mean, just see the little bits of dirt and debris. I mean, it's a top mount intercooler, okay? So it's most imperative. I was going to say on the Hilux and the 120, but not really any different on the 150. You get heaps of debris in there. It sits on the fuel pipes. It sits in around, it just piles on top there. Like, this is looking pretty good because it wasn't that long ago. But that's where the stuff sits. As soon as you take the cover off, you're going to have some debris move from sitting on top to right where that oil is on the inner side, And when the cover goes back on, it's probably got more than one. It's probably going to be quite bad, that one, to make it that messy. But it's really just untidy. Now, some people would say, just put some RTV. You know, I love the RTV for save you guys hundreds or thousands on a fix, and it works really well. But I'm not going to put any RTV around this one because that's just going to get really messy when you go to change your injectors next. It's going to be hard to get off. It's going to restrict it. So don't put any RTV anywhere near this one is my recommendation. So I hope people are pretty happy with that. All your other ones look good. Let me just get around that side and we'll have a bit of a look-see. I can't see. It's certainly not anything to do with your catch can or these side seals, which is what it looked like. They're in all the way. So people, just make sure you do push those in all the way. One of the final checks on the injector job. And it's not just about doing the job right, it's about using the right parts. So highly recommend, if you're going to replace injectors, only get the kit from me and you'll avoid all the remanufactured stuff, all the other brands, all the counterfeit copies. Just get the genuine original stuff, full kit, with the backup plan of the VIP group and the VIP videos. But look, make sure those seals are pressed in. Even once you've put it back together, the pipes in, you've torqued the pipes, just check them, have a look, just get your two thumbs, climb in there and just push those in. Before you put this back on would be ideal because you've got better access, but you can get access to it anyway. Just get a bit of a different angle on it. This is what they should look like. This is what this one looks like. It's just annoying. Okay, what to do? Well, if this was my car, I'd find it bloody annoying, okay, and I'm sure other people would too. That's why they're watching the videos. All the people watching this video to the end, mate, they're all going, oh, that's so annoying, right? And see the catch can here, the pipe's still bloody leaking, making a mess anyway, even with a clamp on it. And the stock standard, so I'm just pointing out, we've gone separate topic, but very important. Back to the catch can again, right? The stock standard piece of rubber is a piece of angled elbow. There's no clamps on it and it never leaks, right? So here we've got a system here with a clamp and it leaks. So that's kind of telling you there's some pressure in there. So the pressure of the engine's pushing and this is restricted enough that it's not, so that's not going to breathe as well and help keep the engine clean because it also evacuates. The more flow you've got, it's like an exhaust fan over your shower. It's going to suck that moisture out of the engine as well because air also has moisture in it. A lot of things people don't think about, but it's all in that playlist. Catch cans, we've talked about it. Injector information. Check the playlist on 4x4 diesel, right? EGR information. So, whatever. Some people are saying cover that up. Nothing's going to go down in there. We're only going to have it off for a minute. We're having a chit chat. We're not pulling the valve cover off now, okay? Mate, the rest of the job looks good. You got all the bolts in the right places. You must have watched some videos. Plenty of videos, yeah. Because the ones that don't, they come in, like the one we saw recently with that bolt in the wrong spot, even from the dealerships, you know, they're the worst, you know. Do you want to tell everybody, we won't say which dealership, but should we tell everyone, you know, where your contact works, whatever? Because that's pretty good, yeah? What year is he?
Second year.
Second year apprentice, doesn't matter. One of the dealerships, so there you go. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully you learn some stuff. On the newer cars would be good too.
Yeah.
Hybrids and stuff. So when I need some info on the hybrids and that, I might be coming your way, that's it. So there you go, right? So I've got a parent of a Toyota dealership apprentice comes to me for injectors. What does that tell you, people? mate, just make sure you get the right gear. You can even go to a Toyota dealership and end up with remanufactured injectors. Some of them probably don't supply those, but the problem is they sometimes won't know if they are. So just careful where you make your choices, where you get your parts from and who you let work on your vehicle. And if you're going to do it yourself, take the time to make sure these seals are Mickey Mouse. Spend a bit more time on the videos. Maybe it's just unlucky. Some people want me to go at least and wobble it because they think, oh, something's broken. No, it's just the plug, right? So we can take the plug off. Just if we're lucky, we can take it off. Wrong angle. I didn't plan this. Now we'll leave the plug on there. The point is, that's not broken or all right. So it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a tiny, it's just untidy. And people are going, well, tell us what you're going to do. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do, you know? To fix the problem, the only way to fix that is to remove the valve cover, clean the seal, inspect it, apply the moly coat, put it back together. You're going to need to do all four: clean, check, inspect. A lot of work, risk of contamination to the injectors. I don't like it. I probably wouldn't do it. I'd ignore it. It's not going to use oil. It's not going to make any difference on your oil level. It's just going to be annoying. It's kind of, think of it as some free rust prevention. If it was my car, I'd probably give it a wash down once a year or every 2 years, every 6 months, once or twice a year. So whenever you go off-road and it ends up getting muddy, if it ever does, it gets a good wash down, but you try and avoid that anyway. I'll just let it get oily like that for a year. And then I'd go, okay, time for a wash down. I'd spray heaps of degreaser with the plastic intercooler cover off, not the intercooler, up the front, around it, whatever, which is what we do before and after the injector jobs anyway, to make sure it's all clean. So when we're working on it, it's clean. That's one thing we do. And of course, when we put it back together, so if there's any fuel or oil, anything around externally, that you don't think there's an oil leak when there's not, okay? So, look, we could get unlucky and this could happen. So it's a reminder for everyone just to be really super careful about cleaning those seals. So my answer is, if it was my car, leave it alone, don't worry about it. I wouldn't put any RTV on it. You could wrap a rag around it to hide it a bit, but you get a little bit of rag, you know, cut it in strips, you know, those leftover ones from the Dow when you do the injector, and you could just wrap it around there and put a rubber band over the top of it to hold it there, just stop it spreading. But literally, okay, do you remember what month you did the injectors? December. It's now October. This is 10 months of oil. Let's have a closer look. And this is why the video gets long, because full detail, so you can think with me and make a decision. Is it even making it to the head? It's not even, I can't really get in there. It's all on the video, but I can't see. It's not making it anywhere. It's barely making it to the edge of the valve cover. All right, people, so what we're gonna do with this one, at your choice, you can do what you want with the catch can anyway. That's really not related, and that's always been the case. But what I would do is put it back together, give it a good wash, and look, I wouldn't even worry about it. It's not that dirty. I wouldn't even give this a wash, you know. When it needs a wash, focus on that area to get some extra degreaser in there, the Kenko stuff we use, water-based. Make sure you rinse it all off really well, don't let it dry. And I reckon that's it. What do you reckon, everybody? Or look in the comments for the people that waited to the end. What would you do? Would you go to all the trouble to pull the valve cover off, risk contamination, you know, at the injector inlets because the fuel pipes have to come off again, do all that work? Or would you wrap a little rag around it, the leftover one, the last one you used to clean the injector ports on the Dow, wrap that around it, put a lacquer band to help keep it tidy and keep it contained? I don't think there's any risk of anything doing that. I think that'd be fine. Or would you just bloody leave it alone and just ignore it, and then in another 7 or 8 years, whatever it is, you know, you do the injectors again, if you still got it, if you know, if they've still, whoever's got the car still, replace it then. Anyway, what do you think? How do you feel about it now? What do you think?
Just clean it up, keep an eye on it.
That's it, beautiful. Happy days. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe, turn the bell, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.